right? So Zillow, that's how you comp on Zillow. You want to go 90 days, look at what's around. 6 months, look at what's around. Then you bump it up to 12 if it's a little too difficult, like this one was. Because that's what my people were seeing. They weren't seeing those 270s. They just went off the Zestimate, and you cannot do that. So we can just kind of go over some of that stuff because, listen, these valuations, this was good for us, but what happens if it was the other way around, right? What if the Zestimate came in and said 275 and this guy was kind of stuck somewhere around there, and I'm looking at it and saying there's no way that 275 is the number. It's got to be significantly lower. That's how you make these things happen. Now, I want to take that same situation and I'm going to share my screen with you again. And now I want to show you about batch leads and what we can do there, right? And there's different things that people use, but this is something that I like to use. I absolutely thoroughly enjoy using this. And so let me show you how we look at it here, okay? Before we go there, you'll see here where it still says it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So I had to have this conversation with the owner of the property. He did the renovations. He did have it permitted. He's got the plans when he went in and did everything. It is now gray. It's not red. So he did all these renovations just a few months ago. So it just hasn't updated in these records. He's owned this property for over 15 years. It was a rental property for him for all of those years. He is a real estate investor as well. So this is what it looks like for him. Here's where they say estimated value is 276. Now, when we did our pre-work, so when you look at this at 276 and then you look at Zillow at 227, what's the disconnect? How is there a $49,000 disconnect, right? Do you use Craigslist at all? Yes, I do. I use Craigslist for a lot of different things. I use it to look for buyers. I use Facebook to look for buyers, just all kind of different things. But I'm going to show you a trick here in batch leads too, since we're talking about buyers. But I'm not just, we're talking about cash. When I'm on Craigslist, I'm looking for not just cash buyers, but I'm looking for people that are looking to do creative financing deals, that are looking to live in a house. They've got the money, but they don't have the credit to qualify for a loan. So I'm looking for those people all the time, right? Okay, so there's our property details. It even tells us the owner of the property. Once you skip trace it, all the telephone numbers, email address, all that stuff's going to be there. You're getting basically the legal description of the property characteristics, all that great stuff, right? It tells us all kind of stuff. Look, we can go here to sales and loan. Now they don't have a loan, but it tells us when he bought it, right down here. It tells us when he bought the property, right? We can get the tax information. We know what the property taxes for the year were, $6,400 in that year, right? So you got the parcel ID, you've got all these different things that you have in there. If he had it listed, which he did, he had it listed before he did the renovations at $255 last year, but he took it down because he wasn't getting the offer. So he went and renovated it and wanted to get that situation. It also tells us that there are liens on these properties. This is one of the reasons that he had to have the $100,000. So we can go down here and we can see who these liens are, right? This contracted party is Cynthia Chang. So we would reach out to Cynthia Chang, and she just filed that last month. Say, okay, and that could be something very similar. It doesn't mean anything negative. Cynthia could have been his lender for the renovations, and she just put a lien on the property to make sure she got her money. It could be very simple like that. It doesn't mean that something negative happened, but one never knows. You just never know. So it's always part of a conversation. So let's go over here to comparables. So we're going to go here, and we have all these different things. Sold in the last 12 months. We can change that to sold in the last 90 days. Built within the last 10 years, or we can change that to say built in the last 20 years. You could say ignore the bedrooms, ignore the bathrooms. We don't want to do that. We want 3 bedrooms. We want, 1 bathroom. We have a 20% range, plus or minus of square footage, which is great. That's perfect. We can look at, our house is a little over 1,100 square feet, so we can look at things 12, 1,300 square feet. It's not that far off, right? But, there's going to be located within a mile. I like to keep it short if I can, but the point is you have all these different categories that are right there that you can pick and set the filters, and you can reset it and clear it. And it'll tell you right here, we've got 27 nearby properties. 9 of them were cash transactions. This tells you everything, right? And I'm going to get into a lot of this here in a second. 9 of these properties were cash transactions. People paid cash for them. 6 of them are free and clear. 21 of them are finance properties, meaning that there is an actual loan on it. 11 of them are corporately owned. 7 of them are owner occupied. 20 of them are absentee owners. They're rental properties, right? So there's 27 in that area, right? So we can scroll over here. We're at the back end of it, right? So we're just going to look at the first 10 here. So this is when they got it. They paid $2,300 for it. Okay, so here's a sale last year at $100,000. Here's one in August that was smaller, 990 square feet, a smaller lot even, right? $320,000, $319,000. Here's another one that sold June that was smaller for $223,000. Here's $268,000. There's $458,000. $275,000. And we can go to these other pages and kind of see the same thing. And you start to see the comps you want to use. Now, let me ask you again, when we're seeing these numbers, these are numbers for houses that sold within the last 6 months, okay? Just the last 6 months. So when the market turns around, we have a property that could realistically be really close to $300,000. Really close, looking at some of these comparables. $318,000 for a 912 square foot house. It's also a 2-bedroom. Well, it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Or it could be the same kind of situation. One never knows. Maybe they did a renovation and added that extra bedroom or extra bathroom. They could have done that. That's what this gentleman did. So we're looking here and we know that these values are real. So the valuation on Zillow made no sense. But that's where most people, that's where I'm sure where he went, to look at our seller, where he went to go look at the comps. But as you can see right here, there is an enormous amount of upside for us in the future. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever our exit strategy is, we're going to have a significant amount of equity, And that's what we really want to look for now. I'm giving you everything you need to find success as a real estate investor. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and like this video. See you later.